Hello, radio listeners. I'm Ava, and it's 2 o'clock on this beautiful sunny afternoon on July 15th, 1995, and today is the 1-year mark since the Rwandan genocide came to a halting end. We are here to remember the victims and survivors of the genocide. Today, we also have a special guest here who will be joining us on live air. She has put her life's work into telling the stories of those who lost their lives due to the genocide. Neza Matuni lived in Rwanda at the time, but was luckily not directly affected by the Rwandan genocide because she lived away from the main parts of the killings. Here she is now, Neza Maturi. Hello, Neza, how are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. If it's okay with you, we are going to open the line for our listeners.
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, here on line 1, we have a caller all the way from Minnesota, USA. Taylor, you're on the air. What's your question for Neza? Hi, Neza. This is kind of a broad question, but how many people died in the Rwandan genocide? And in your opinion, how many people were affected by the event?
The number of people who died was in the 100,000s. I think around 800,000. I believe that the whole world was affected by it.
All right, thank you, Taylor, for your time. Now on to the next caller. Caller 2, you're now on the line.
Hi, I'm Isabel, and I wanted to ask you, what do you think were the overall causes of the genocide? Well, Isabel, that is a great question with an answer that varies. The most logical and common answer I can give to you is that there were two major groups of people, the Hutus and the Tutsis. A plane that contained a Rwandan president, Hyberian, was shot down as he was on his way to sign a peace treaty for Rwanda. The Hutus blamed us Tutsis, and the Hutus believed that they should kill all Tutsis.
Thank you so much, Isabel, for your question. We have time for one more caller. Caller 3, you're now on the air. What's your question? Hello, Neza. My question is, why do the Tutsis and the Hutus hate each other?
Well, although there isn't one reason to why they dislike each other, they will always have a simmering hatred towards each other. Now, don't get me wrong, they don't all hate each other. Some of us learn to live in love with each other. I guess the murder of our president ignited the flamed rivalry between us. A large part of our disagreements came from the different views of how our government should be run and by who.
Thank you so much, Caller 3. We'll be right back after a short message from our sponsors. I am stuck on Band-Aid brand 'cause Band-Aids stick on me.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there with an hour of ad-free radiocasts.
Now we are back. We took an online survey on what questions everyone wanted us to ask, Neza, and there were our most popular questions. What, in your opinion, made this genocide unique from other genocides?
Well, this is going to sound scary, but I would have to say that what makes it unique is how brutal the Tutsis were killed. The Hutus forced entry into our homes and used machetes to chop off our heads.
You're right, that is scary, and I'm speaking for everyone on the show. We are sorry to hear that. On to the next question. How did the genocide come to an end?
Well, the defeat of the government by the RPF, Rwandan Patriotic Front, played the biggest role in the end of the genocide.
And our last question for today, what do you think was the short and long-term effects that this particular genocide had on the world?
Well, as numbers don't speak for themselves, about 75% of the Tutsi population was murdered in the genocide. There was also a large economic decline. All the farms and agriculture around the country were either burned or destroyed.
Well, before we let you go, we were wondering if you had any fun or cool facts that you would wanted to share with us.
Here's a little unknown fact. About 200,000 people participated in the killing of the Tutsis. Another fact would be that the radio stations were used to encourage Tutsis to use violence against the Tutsis. Many of the Hutu power spokesmen were arrested and put on trial.
Well, Neza, for everyone in the station and all the people listening live right now, we extend our greatest thanks to you for taking your time to come talk to us.
I'm glad I got to answer everyone's questions, and it was a pleasure to be on the show.
Join us next week when we bring in Willy Wonka to talk about his chocolate factory.